All right, today we're pulling back the curtain on the modern job hunt. We're going to talk about something called automated selection. Basically, the AI that is almost certainly the first reader of your resume. Let's dive in.
So you've spent hours, maybe even days, polishing your resume, writing that perfect cover letter. You finally hit submit. And then what? Crickets. It just feels like your application disappears into a black hole. So where does it really go?
For pretty much all of us, what happens next is a total mystery. It's a black box. We send our resume out there, cross our fingers, and just hope for the best, with absolutely no idea what's actually happening on the other side. You know, it wasn't that long ago that you could picture it, right? A hiring manager with a cup of coffee staring down a literal mountain of paper resumes on their desk. Well, today, that desk is gone. The mountain is now just data living inside a server, and the first person to look at it isn't a person at all. It's an algorithm. And that is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. Before your carefully chosen words ever reach human eyes, they are first scanned, sorted, and scored by a machine. That's just the new reality of applying for a job.
So if a human isn't the first one looking at your application, then who, or, what is? Well, let's meet this new gatekeeper.
The key to cracking open this black box really comes from our source material for this, a guide titled Lecture 48, AI in Resume Screening. This is what helps us get a handle on the mechanics of these systems that are totally changing how companies find people. The official name for all this is automated selection. And at its heart, it's really just about using AI to do that first massive cut. We're talking about scanning hundreds, maybe thousands of applications to find a small, manageable pool of candidates, all before a person even has to look at anything. It might sound super complex and futuristic, but how does it actually work, step by step? Let's break it down. Okay, so here's the play-by-play. First, the system sucks in your resume and turns it into pure data a machine can read. Next, the AI gets to work analyzing that data. It scores you based on how well you match the job description. It's hunting for keywords, skills, even patterns in your career history. And finally, it ranks everybody and spits out a neat little shortlist for an actual human to review. The best way to think about it is like a giant digital sieve. Its main job isn't to find the perfect candidate. Nope. Its job is to be incredibly efficient at filtering out the huge number of applications it thinks are unqualified. It's all about saving time. But that efficiency can come with some really big challenges. And that brings us to maybe the most important part of this whole conversation, the question of bias. I mean, we tend to think of computers as objective, right? They just crunch numbers, they follow logic. So how can a piece of code, an algorithm, actually be unfair? Well, the answer comes down to one simple but incredibly powerful truth. An AI doesn't have its own opinions. It learns from the data we give it. And if that data is full of our own past human biases, well, the AI is going to learn those biases too. And here's what that can actually look like. Let's say an AI is trained on a company's hiring data from the last 20 years. If that data shows that historically there were fewer women in leadership roles, the AI might learn to penalize resumes that have indicators we associate with women. If the company tended to hire from the same 5 fancy schools, the AI might learn to just ignore amazing talent from everywhere else. Or if having a gap in your employment was seen as a red flag, the system could just automatically disqualify parents or caregivers who took time off. See, the AI isn't being evil. It's just perfectly replicating the flawed patterns it was taught. So, knowing all this, what are we supposed to do? What does it mean for us when we're basically putting our resume up against a robot? This whole situation forces us to ask some really big questions. If you're looking for a job, you're now playing a 2-part game. Is your resume formatted with the right keywords to get past the robot, but is it also compelling enough for the human who will hopefully see it later? And if you're a company, the question is massive. How do you check these tools to make sure they're actually helping you find the best people and not just reinforcing old bad habits? And really, for all of us, it makes us wonder, what does qualified even mean in the age of AI? Is it just a checklist of keywords, or is it something more? And that leaves us with the big one. These tools are powerful, they're efficient, and they are not going away. So the real challenge isn't if we should use them, it's how. How do we build and manage them to create a hiring process